Hello everyone, I'm the Sylphant, I've just blown in. And today we are back with more Dragon Age Origins. Last time we completed the Return to Ostagar DLC, and we also had a night talking to all of our friends in camp. It's been a long journey to get this far, and we're so close to that final push, you know? But, before we go any further, I thought we would, it is time for Codex readings! I know, everyone's so excited. So we're like, can you just go fight the frickin' archdemon already? It's like, we'll get there, don't worry. We'll get there. But I still want to read. So let us read, shall we? Let us begin with creatures. Let's see. Ooh, 11. Dragons. I think we've read dragonlings, we've read drakes. Now it is time to read about dragons. Proper. Female dragons take much longer to mature than their male counterparts. So opposite of humans. They too undergo a metamorphosis of sorts to add adulthood. Aw, they're big tadpoles. But while males lose the use of their forepaws, the opposite of humans, females actually grow a third set of limbs. Ow. Specifically to serve as wings. Aw, they have wings. There's a joke in there somewhere about feminine hygiene products. Young females travel great distances looking for a suitable nesting site. Because of their nomadic habitats, these are the dragons most frequently encountered by man. Aww. Hi, dragons. So, they smoke weed? Oh, who knew? I say as I sip my coffee, my drug of choice. A fully matured adult female dragon is the High Dragon, the greatest monster of legend, the rarest of all dragon kind. These dragons hollow out massive lairs for themselves, for they need the space to house their harem of drakes, as well as their eggs and the dragonlings. Yeah, that's a lot. High dragons are seldom seen. They spend most of their time sleeping and mating. That kind of sounds like a great life. Living off of prey their drakes bring back. But once every 100 years or so, a high dragon prepares for clutching by emerging from her lair and taking wing. She will fly far and wide, eating hundreds of animals, most often livestock. Most often. Every once in a while, maybe a human gets tossed in there, some elves. Over the course of a few weeks, and leaving smoldering devastation in her wake. Like you do. She then returns to her lair to lay her eggs, and will not appear in the skies again for another century. That's a long life. Well, I am apparently missing one of my creatures. Boo. Items. The Bow of the Golden Sun. There is no more famous ruler in history than Cordelius Racon, first emperor of Orlais. Few, however, know the story of his empress. 'Cause, ladies, we're not important. Empress... I'm gonna feel bad, 'cause I want to say it's Aria, but what kind of a name is Aria? I guess Aria's a name, so... Was the third of Lord Letharius of Vari... Empress Aria... Yeah. Empress Aria was the third of Lord Montelarius of Valchevin's famously unmarriageable 6 daughters. Wow. 6 and... oh. When she met young Prince Cordelius, she was the captain of her father's archers and led the defenses of Loris Castle. Aw, good for her! She figured out what she wanted in life. She was not the fairest of ladies, nor the most elegant or charming. You don't know that. She could have her ways. But Aria could shoot the wings of a bumblebee at 100 paces. Aw, she sounds awesome. Can we have her novel? By all accounts, when the prince witnessed that particular feat, Dragon, who was not noted for his charm or elegance, and rather better known for his sword and shield, was instantly smitten. Aww! They're the combat couple! That's so cute! On their wedding day, Draken presented his bride with a golden bow crafted by the mages of Vareo, so that they could ride into battle and spread the light of the Maker side by side. Oh! I feel bad because I probably sold this already, but... oh! I like this story. Okay, moving on. 46. The Magister's Shield. And my apologies, my chair is squeaking. On the very day the final stone was set into place in the Grand Cathedral of Orlais, Archon Vespasian was assassinated. No! For 3 days, every Magister Lord of the Imperium lived behind a wall of armored guards. It's magic, that's not gonna help. You're just creating an AoE cluster. Anyway, when his successor, Hadarius, was finally named Archon, the first enchanter of the Circle of Minrathos presented him with a gift. A silvery, unadorned chain made from pure lyrium. Enchantments had been worked into the links of the chain, so that donning this necklace was like holding up a shield. Blows struck at the wearer glanced harmlessly away. Unfortunately, Hadarius found that the shield did not protect him against poison nearly so well. Yeah. Shields are great, but poison's better. The Summer Sword. Entry 48. In 848 Blessed, Lord... They love their hard-pronounced names, don't they? Arioline of Montdemerad, champion of the Grand Tourney of Ansburg, commissioned a sword for his youngest son, Luce, who aspired to the Chevaliers. Insisting that his boy have nothing but the best, Lord A sought out the most renowned mastersmith in Orlais Empire, Versine of Halam-Shrial, Elven City, who was at that time nearly 80, and begged the old man to make the blade. Versine refused. His sight was failing him, and he had no wish to come out of retirement. Good for you! But Eileen offered an exorbitant sum of gold, and eventually overcame the artisan's resistance. Boo. Respect my creativity. Scrolling. The old master labored for several months, folding steel, honing the edge to perfection. The resulting blade was as long as a man is tall and sharp as the tongue of a noblewoman. Oh, we're hitting Cloud Buster sword levels now. Versine proclaimed it to be his greatest work, and named it, in a fit of irony, the Summer Sword, since he had crafted it in the winter of his lifetime. But it's still glorious like summer break. Lord Elion brought Louis with him to receive the sword from the hand of the old master. When the boy saw the Summer Sword, he turned up his nose at his father's gift. Oh, you ungrateful brat! Screw you! Such great two-handed blades were no longer in fashion at court. He preferred an ascot. Oh. Arlion was mortified, as he should be. I hope you, had words with your child. He insisted that Louis carry the blade, and apologized to Versine, but to no avail. The swordsmith cursed the boy. Really? Oh, the swordsmith cursed the boy. This is for Eldon, after the story of the axe and the woodcutter. All I'm saying that his pride, regardless of the blade he carried, he would fail anyway. The best curse, the curse of Nat 1. Roll20 has cursed me with this many a time. Louis was eventually knighted and joined the ranks of the Chevaliers. In 898, blessed, he was appointed command of the Chevaliers in Denerim, and hoped to make a name for himself. And so he did. He was the most detested Chevalier in Ferelden. Good job. Well known for his acts of depravity. Good job. In 9-1 Dragon, he met Logain MacTair in battle at Avanche. Louis lost his escort early in the fight, became separated from his men, and ended up face down. Facing down Logain himself. Yeah, that sentence read much differently the first way I read it. Armed only with his summer sword, which he had never before drawn. Practice might have saved him where his pride did not. Logain made short work of the pompous Chevalier and took the great sword as a trophy. Yeah, good times. Oh, Logain, I'm sorry we had to kill you, but it was not my intention. Al took that initiative all on his own. I have nothing new under magic and religion. Culture and history time, folks. 104, Antiva. In the rest of the civilized world, it is common belief that Antiva has no king. I assure you, gentle readers, that is untrue. The line of kings in Antiva has remained unbroken for 2,500 years. It is simply that nobody pays any attention to them whatsoever. Ah, what I wish we could do to Trump. But I don't trust him not to blow up the world. The nation is ruled, in truth, by a collection of merchant princes. They are not princes in the literal sense, but heads of banks, trading companies, and vineyards. Their power is conferred strictly by wealth. But Antiva is not primarily renowned for its particular form of government, nor is it admittedly unparalleled wines. Antiva is known for the House of Crows. You don't say. Since Antivans are well known for being good at everything but fighting, it is more than a little ironic that Antiva possesses the most deadly assassins in the world. And actually, to me, that makes total sense. Because roguing is not the same thing as being a warrior. Their fame is such that Antiva keeps no standing army. No king is willing to order his troops to assault her borders, and no general is bad enough to lead such an invasion. The attack would likely succeed, but its leaders would not see the day. Yeah. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Janet Davy. That guy, who we met. Who I think is still alive at this point. Go us. We're awesome. Entry 106, The Banor. In central Ferelden Valley has always been a paradox. No single band holds more than a few dozen leagues of farmland, yet together they govern a greater territory than all the Terrans and the Arls combine. This collection of independent bands is known as the Banor, and it is the heart of the Ferelden politics. No person has ever sat upon the throne of Ferelden without first winning approval of the Banor. CL, we did good. Queen Fiona, who had the misfortune to take the throne at the 18th year of the Steel Age, wrote of the Banor, "There have been 3 wars this year fought over implements. 5 fought over wool, and 1 started by an apple tree. It isn't even winter yet. Sheesh." Well, it doesn't say that, but I totally believe that was implied. Who would believe that these same bands, now trying so hard to kill one another, just last year united to give me a crown? From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Yeah, politics is weird. 110, The City of Elves. But no Santa. When the holy exalted march of the Dales resulted in the dissolution of the Elven Kingdom, boo. Leaving a great many elves homeless once again, double boo. The divine Retenia I declared that all lands loyal to the Chantry must give the elves refuge within their walls. Gee, how frickin' generous of you. Yeah, I don't like religion. Considering the atrocities committed by the elves at the Red Crossing, yeah, I'm sure the humans were totally innocent and blameless. This was a great testament to the Chantry's charity. Screw you. There was one condition, however. The elves were to lay aside their pagan gods. Oh, boo and screw you times infinity. Live under the rule of the Chantry. Yeah, we're merciful, provided you give up everything you believe in. Yeah, religion bad. Sorry, I just had a moment of I hear noise. Some of the elves refused our goodwill. Gee, you don't say. They band together to form the Wandering Dalish Elves, keeping their old elven ways. Good for them, although they get so much wrong. And their hatred of humans alive. You know what? I don't blame them. To this day, Dalish Elves still terrorize those of us who stray too close to their camps. Yeah, 'cause humans are so kind to elves in their cities. Most of the elves, however, saw that it was wisest to live under the protection of humans. Teach their own. And so we took the elves into our cities and tried to integrate them. I know what I said. Shush. We invited them into our own homes and gave them jobs as servants. Oh, how generous. Give these people a friggin' award. And farmhands. Here, in Denerim, the elves even have their own quarter. Yeah, we've seen how good that was kept. Governed by an elven keeper. I wouldn't say what their guy is as a keeper. I'm sorry. Most have proven to be productive members of society. Wow, that's so racist. Still, a small segment of the elven community remains dissatisfied. Yeah, how dare they not be happy to live in their squalor? These troublemakers and malcontents roam the streets causing mayhem, rebelling against authority and making general nuisances of themselves. Screw you. Because you know what? Humans are also kinda shitty. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Patrine, I don't like you anymore. Boo. Okay, 111. Alienage culture. There have always been alienages. No, there hasn't. Learn history. They have been around for as long as elves and Shems have lived in the same lands. Yeah, thing is, Shems weren't always here. Ours isn't even the worst. I doubt this. I have questions. They say that Vareo has 10,000 elves living in a space no bigger than Denerim's market. Their walls are supposedly so high that daylight doesn't reach the Venadel until midday. I actually don't know if that's true or not. I don't think it is. Based off The Masked Empire, which is one of the Dragon Age novels. If you have not read it, I recommend it. Anyway, moving on. But don't be so anxious to start tearing down the walls and picking fights with the guards. I don't know, I think we should. Revolution, revolution. They keep out more than they keep in. We don't have to live here, you know. Sometimes a family gets a good break and they buy a house in the docks or the outskirts of town. You know, the best, safest places to live. If they're lucky, they come back to the Alienage after the looters have burned their houses down. You lucky ones just go to the Popper's Field. Wow. Wow. No. That is a shitty life. Here, we're among family. We look out for each other. Here, we do what we can to remember the old ways. The Flat-Ears who have gone out of there, they're stuck. They'll never be human. And they've gone and thrown away being an elf, too. So where does that leave them? Nowhere. Sarathia Heron of Highever Alienage. Wow, that's pretty bleak. Really, just... ugh. No. History of Ferelden, Chapter 2, Entry 118. The occupation was a dark blot in Ferelden's history. Our people, who from time immemorial valued their freedom over all else, were forced to bow to our Legion rule. Boo. The Empire declared our elves property and sold them like cattle. Double boo. Chevaliers routinely plundered freeholds of coin, food, and even women and children. Ugh! An excuse, it is taxation. And for 70 years, no landsmeets were held, for the imperial throne had declared our ancient laws a form of treason. Yeah, there's a reason Loghain does not like Corley. King Brendal was one of those who escaped. He tried to organize the other fugitive lords to retake their lands, but Brendal was neither clever nor persuasive. Aww. I feel that. And nobles preferred to take their chances alone, which means they got slaughtered. Ferelden might still be a little more than a territory of the Empire were it not for the fact that his daughter had all the charisma that her royal father lacked. The rebel queen's rule began with midnight attack on the imperial armory at Lothering. It was swift and successful, and with their pilfered arms, the rebels began a campaign against the Orlesians in earnest. Aww. Good old rebel queen. But the turning point of the war came when a young freeholder joined the queen's army. The lad, Loghain MacTier, possessed remarkable talent for strategy and quickly became the favorite advisor of young Prince Merrick. We couldn't have killed him. The queen finally died at the hands of the Orlesian sympathizers anxious to curry favor with their painted masters. And Merrick took her place as the leader of the rebellion. And if you've read the novelization of this, he was super not happy about it. Logain became Meric's right hand, and Meric and Logain led the rebels in the new campaign against their Orlesian oppressors, culminating in the Battle of the River Dane, where the last Chevaliers in Denerim were crushed. Good. With the capital once more in the hands of Ferelden's, the battle to free our people was finally over. But the battle to rebuild what had been lost had only just begun. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Still don't like you, Patrine. The Free Marches. Entry 122. The Free Marches is not a kingdom. Exactly. Nor even a nation in most basic sense. People from the region dislike even being lumped together as marchers. Rather, they are a collection of independent city-states united only when it suits them. Yeah. In this respect, they resemble the Banner before the arrival of King Calenhad. Because of this, the Free Marches have no capital. Well, no, because they're all individual city-states. It's like saying, Europe. You're the king of Europe. It means nothing. And what passes for a central government exists only sporadically, a sort of landsmeet that convenes only during times of crisis. I arrived in the time of Grand Tourney while it was on in Tantervale. Aw, Tantervale. One of my first tabletop characters was from there. A remarkable sight indeed. I saw Alvar Hillsmen test their mettle against Orlesian Chevaliers. Oh, I hope the Chevaliers got crushed. Riders from the Anderfells buying Navaran cavalry horses, and even craftsmen selling their wares to Tevinter mages. Not everyone from Tevinter's a magister. I know that. Come on. All of Thetis was on display. Grim Pursuit of Knowledge, The Tales of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Janet TV. Scooby down. Entry 125. Guaran. Guaran. Sounds like a punk rock band name. Or is that Guar? No, that's Guar. Never mind. The human settlement of Guarn is built directly on top of a dwarven outpost by the same name. That explains a lot. Prior to the First Blight, in a time when Ferelden was not yet a nation and was still carved up into barbarian tribes, the outpost served as a source of salt, and a means by which the dwarves could reach the sea lanes of the Anthranthian Ocean. Unwilling to come to the surface, the dwarves made an arrangement with the local Tyrn to build a port, and relied on the humans to ferry goods between the ships and the underground outpost. I like this idea. Why don't we get more of that? This made Guaran a prosperous place and extraordinarily wealthy for a time. When, in the Divine Age, the dwarven kingdoms fell to the Darkspawn and the deep roads were closed off, oh, sad, so too did the dwarves disappear from Guaran. The human settlement, the envy of the surrounding barbarian tribes, was assaulted and sacked, its wealth stolen. Aw, it got better. The town remained, however, and, despite its remote location, continued to find value as a source of fish and timber. As the first settlement liberated by King Meric and Logain during the Ferelden Rebellion, Guaran was eventually granted to Logain when he became Tyrn in 911 Dragon. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. We're still not cool, Patrine. 126. Highever. Castle Highever has stood since the Divine Age, when it was not an independent Banor, but merely an outpost of the growing Banor of Amaranthine. In the days before Amaranthine became an Arling itself, the outpost of Highever was originally held by Elstan family, cousins of the Hows, but not the Whats or the Whos. In the Age of Towers, however, Ban Conabar, Elstan, was murdered by his wife, Flemeth. I thought that name sounded familiar. Thus ending the bloodline, Conabar's captain of the guard, Serim Kuzland, took the lands and the title. Aw, that name should sound familiar. If you play a human noble especially. But I was not a human noble. I was a dwarven noble. The Kuzlands declared their independence from Amaranthine, starting a war that lasted 30 years. When the dust settled, Highever was on its own, and in possession of half the land that had once been southwest of Amaranthine. Yay! Highever became a Tarian during the Black Age, when Halia Kuzland gathered the lords together under her banner to drive the werewolves out of their lands. Aw, poor werewolves. They just wanted to eat your livestock. Earning herself the title of Tarian almost as an afterthought. Today, Haever is one of the only two remaining Terrians, marking the Kuzlan family as second rank only to the king. Ah! This explains actually why if you play a human noble, you can marry a certain person. Arl Howe of Amaranthine was named the new Terrian of Haever, under somewhat questionable circumstances. And the fate of the Kuzlan family is now uncertain. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Yeah. Oh, Howe. I'm so sad we can, kill you once. King Matic Tarin. It is difficult to separate the man from the myth. And I think the novelization did pretty good. The last survivor of the bloodline of King of Calenhad, the Silver Knight, Maric drove the Orlesian forces from Ferelden's borders, reclaimed the throne, and freed our people from a foreign tyranny. All true and all larger than life. No, he was a screw-up in every single sense of the word. He was born in hiding near Cathal's crossing to the rebel queen Moira, and grew up in the rebel camps, an outlaw of his own country. When the rebel queen died, Maric inherited her homeless nobles, malcontents, and displaced freeholders, and, with the aid of his friend Locane MacTier, his name's gonna keep popping up, built them into an army. After the pivotal Battle of Riverdane, Maric took the throne. He married Rowan, who was too good for him, daughter of Rendor Garin of Arl of Redcliffe, and began the long, slow process of rebuilding everything Orlais had demolished during 70 years of occupation. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. Still not cool, Petrine. Not cool. 130, Navarra. The fourth time I attempted to cross the border into Navarra from Orlais, and was turned back by the Chevaliers. I decided to take the more roundabout path, the ship back to Ferelden, and then another to Navarra. The outcome was more than worth the trouble. The whole country is filled with artistry, from the statues of heroes that litter the streets and even the meanest villages, to the glittering golden cathedral College of Magi in Cumberland. Perhaps nowhere is more astonishing than the vast necropolis outside of Navarra city. Unlike most of other followers of Andraste, the Navarrans do not burn their dead. Instead, they carefully preserve the bodies and seal them in elaborate tombs. Some of the wealthiest Navarrans began construction of their own tombs while quite young, and these become incredible palaces, complete with gardens, bathhouses, ballrooms, and utterly silent, kept only for the dead. That is a waste of friggin' money. You have too much money. Give it to me. Fictional people in a fictional world. Shut up. Never mind. From Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Janet Davey. Yeah, they have too much money. Give it to me. 131. The Noble Families of Ferelden. The occupation left empty castles in its wake. Whole families were butchered in the initial invasion, and all those who couldn't or wouldn't bend the knee to the Emperor's puppet king were declared traitors and hunted. Many bloodlines ended on Chevalier's blades at dusty crossroads and forest clearings or in freeholds. Yeah, Orlais was not always kind. And then there were the turncoats. To curry favor with their new masters, some nobles took up arms against their brothers. They betrayed and murdered the rebel queen, an act that created even more vacancy titles and lands. Once King Maric exacted justice. Yay, Maric, the one thing you did right! That Ferelden did not fall apart after the Orlesians left is a testament to the strength of King Maric. I'd say that's more a testament to Ferelden, but The old family still had grudges against those who sided with the Emperor, and those who saw family that had been granted titles were viewed as interlopers. The landsmeet that followed Maric's coronations were tense, to say the least. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. 157. Benendal, the Tree of the People. Mostly, the old ways are gone. Each generation forgets a little more of the old tongue, a little more of the traditions. You have no idea. And the few things we keep become simple habits, the meaning long since faded. So it is with the Benendal, the Tree of the People. Every lineage has one, I'm told, or they're used to. When I was a little girl, my mother told me that the tree was a symbol of Arlathon, and not even she knew more. Keeping the Venedal is just a habit now. Many cities have left theirs to wither and die, and then chop them down for firewood. No great loss. That's tragic. Sarithia Heren of the High Ever Alienage. That is so sad that they lose so much of their culture. Well, now I'm just sad. But we must continue on, because there is still quite a bit to read. Characters. Queen Nora. We have been given the gift of freedom by our forebears. Let us not squander it. I know. We could squander it. It'd be pretty sweet. The only child of the war hero Logain MacTair, Nora has never been one to stay quietly in the background. True. It is common knowledge that in the 5 years Nora and Kaelin held the throne together, she was the one that wielded the power. Yeah, which is why I did not want to put her on the throne by herself. I do not trust her. She is held in much higher esteem than her husband by the people of Ferelden, nobility and commoners alike, and commands the respect even of foreign nations, having once inspired Empress Celine of Orlais to declare, "Nora of Ferelden is a solitary rose among brambles." Wow, Celine. Wow. I kind of wish we could have seen Nora and Celine hanging out one day. That'd been fun. She sent her maid, Arlenia, to Arl Eamon's estate to ask Ulrica's help in escaping from Arl Howe. But as they fled Howe's estate, Nora, in disguise, they were ambushed by Sir Cothrian, there to arrest Howe's murderer. A fight ensued, and Nora fled in the confusion. I have so many mean names to call her, but there's not enough time. She made her way to Eamon's Denham estate, and there offered her aid in defeating her father at the Landsmeet. And by that, she did nothing. She made things worse. However, when the hour came, she publicly supported her father, like I said, decrying the warden as slanderers and regicides. Oh, girl. Screw you. That's why you're not on the throne. The bands found line behind Eamon and Ulrica. Logain, however, would not accept defeat easily. He filled the room with troops. Wait, what? And attempted a coup? The fuck did that happen? Fighting erupted, breaking the long tradition of Landsmeet, which was ultimately settled at a duel. Yeah, that happened, actually. In the end, Nora was deposed, and Alistair was given the throne. Good times. Anyway, Sir Cothrian, entry 166. Some of us know what honor and loyalty are. Cothrian came to Logain's service the hard way. She belonged to a poor family and was out doing work on the farm when she saw a man on horseback being attacked by several bandits. She rushed to his assistance and found out belatedly that the man she saved was none other than the great hero Logain. Though she was hardly more than a child, he took her in. His one good deed, offering her a position with his soldiers, and she climbed through the ranks through sheer determination, becoming the commander of Merrick's Shield. Logain's elite soldiers was the proudest moment of her life, and I'm sorry we had to slaughter you, fangirl, but no. She was slain while trying to arrest Ulrica for the murder of Arl Howe. She started it! Thing is, I really like Cothrian as a character, as much as I make fun of her for being a fangirl. This is someone I wish we could have gotten more time with, or would get something more to have seen who she was. It's really unfortunate. Oh well. Moving on. 170. Arl Eamon Garin. Didn't I read his already? Oh, right, because I've updated quests. Okay, I think we read something about him being poisoned. Health restored, Eamon called a Landsmeet with the goal of wresting power from Logain and placing Alistair on the throne. With the question of succession settled, Eamon returned to Redcliffe to prepare the castle's defenses for the encroaching blight. Yeah, we're kind of at war. Anyway, 172, Plymouth. I'm pretty sure we've actually read as well. I'm just gonna scroll through until I see something that looks new. Morrigan's mother saved the last of the Grey Wardens went after her Ishmael. I'm sorry, it was literally only a paragraph. She was slain at Morrigan's behest, at least, apparently. Apparently? Until the sequel. Yeah, I'm sure we'll never hear from her ever again. Earl Rendon Howe, 176. I actually don't remember if we read his or not. Okay, it's not a long one. It appears it will be civil war after all, despite this darkspawn. Pity. Also, voiced by Tim Curry, therefore, best character. The Arling of Man Laranthine winds along the sinuous northeast coast of Ferelden. The waking sea is known for its temper, and the storms that sweep it from the warmer northern waters are sudden and brutal. These are the lands of Rendon Howe. How fitting! He was born during the occupation, and like many of the nobles at the time, joined Prince Maric's rebels. I can't see it personally, but he fought alongside young Bryce Cousland, future Terran of Highever, and Linos Berlin, future Arl of Southreach, at the bloody Battle of the White River. It was the most catastrophic defeat of the entire occupation, for which only 50 rebel soldiers escaped alive. That's not many. Although he was decorated for valor by King Maric, Howe's abrasive manners have earned him almost universal dislike among his peers. You don't say. Howe died at the hands of Ulrica and Denerim. As he should. Thumbs up, good times. Moving on. 180. Logan McTeer. I'm pretty sure we've actually read most of Logain's as well. I'm just going to skip to the end, which is the only new part of the entries. He was defeated in single combat at the Landsmeet and summarily executed. Which was not my plan! Al took initiative way too far. Anyway, 186. Valendrain. Remember that our strength lies in commitment to tradition and to each other. Every alienage has a harem, an elder. It falls to the harem to arrange marriages for those without family, to negotiate with the guards when there's trouble, and to act as a sort of mayor and a surrogate uncle to the people of the alienage. The title, like so many things, is a holdover from the time of Arlathan. The Haharens are not necessarily the oldest people in their community, or even all that old. Tradition gives the role to the oldest soul, and the wisest, cleverest, most level-headed. Valendrain has been Haharen of the Denerim alienage since he was in his 30s. He was nearly shipped to Deventer by slavers, but was returned to the alienage by Ulrica, because she rocks. Also, she's not a frickin' slaver. Boo. Seeing as there's still quite a bit left to read, I just need to double check. Actually, there's 2 there. 1 there. I don't read controls. Oh, sweet, we got everything on request related. Go us! Actually, now I'm gonna press on. This video is gonna be a little longer than usual. I don't think anyone's gonna mind. Alright, let's get into it. Books and songs. Entry 194. Meditation and Odes to Bees. O fair damsel of the garden, Arless of honeysuckle and rose, I humbly beg your gracious pardon. The offense of here arose. Surely your work is far too vital to be interrupted by one like me. I am in no way entitled to earn the notice of a honeybee. I was a fool to pluck that flower. For my lady fair, on my honor, I swear to bring you dozens more within the hour, if you give me leave to try. Listen, traveler, if you would walk the garden paths for some spring, mind that you don't trespass, for the gardens do sting. Anonymous. Interesting. Unfortunately, it appears I am still missing 2 of the entries. That's sad. Not sure if I'll do a video where I cover all the codexes that I miss, but we'll see. The First Blight, Chapter 4. It's a lot to read. Founded at Weissop Fortress in the Underfells, the Grey Wardens offered humanity hope in its darkest hour. Veterans of decades of battles with the Darkspawn came together, and the best among them pleaded to do whatever was necessary to stem the tide of darkness that swept across the land. Gee, that doesn't sound familiar at all. These great humans, elves, and dwarves pooled their knowledge of the enemy and formed a united front to put a stop to the archdemon's rampage. You know, the opposite of what happened this Blight, when we all kind of turned on each other and said, screw you. And stop it they did. Woo! Go team! Ballads are still sung today of the first Grey Warden charge into the waves of Darkspawn. Oh, I want to hear this song. Lil, tell me the story. At the city of Nordbottom, each warden facing 10 or 20 Darkspawn at a time. That sounds... well, actually knowing how Ulrika fights, it's totally believable. Squadrons of Grey Wardens mounted on their mighty griffins, soaring through the blackened skies and battling the terrible archdemon with spear and spell. Oh, what a sight it must have been! I want that video game. I want Grey Ward. I want Warden mounts. Well, we tried mounting Al, but it didn't work out. I want Griffin mounts, darn it. I know what I'm trying to say. Shush. Incredibly, the Grey Wardens won the first battle. They raised their arms in victory, and suddenly there was hope. The Grey Wardens led the lands of men and the last stalwart defenders of the dwarven halls against the hordes of the archdemon Dumont for the next 100 years, gaining and losing ground, but never backing away. From all over Thedas they recruited whoever possessed the skill and strength to raise the Grey Warden banner, making no distinction between elven slave or human nobleman. Yeah, dwarves, who knows about them. And finally, nearly 2 centuries after the first old god rose from the earth, the Grey Wardens assembled the armies of men and dwarves at the Battle of the Silent Fields. It was then that Dumont finally fell and the First Blight ended. The Devinter Imperium would face a new challenge with the coming of the Prophet Andraste. Thoughts of the Blight grew distant. With Dumont's defeat, the Darkspawn were no longer considered a threat. Ha ha ha! Short-sighted. But with the wisdom of hindsight, we know the conceit proved foolish indeed. Until literally every Blight after. You're incapable of learning. The task of the Grey Wardens was far from done, however. From the Tales of the Destruction of Thedas by Brother Jill TV, Chapter Scholar. Yeah, good times. Moving on. Notes. Aw, we're missing one of the notes. Boo. Okay, I know we've read Correspondence Interruptus, so I'm just trying to find what is new. Not that these are not hilarious to read. My love, I long to dance you beneath the moonlight, our hearts beating like a pair of wings of a dove, in concert with glory of the Maker and the beauty of the world that we must shepherd in his absence. Joining in a purity that will last ages, when the brothers mark the chant of light anew. With all my soul, Eric. Oh, that was the guy's name. Then of all, scribbled below in a delicate hand. Otter's pocket here and it tonight. Okay. Okay, I don't read controls, so we're gonna skip that. And quest related, which you'll note is 30 of 30. So, yay us, we got all of those. Okay, 113. Topsider's Honor. That thing we went back through the deep roads for. Yeah, good times. The fool has been following us for 3 days. But what can I do? I'm sure the city guard would lock him up for being a sodding idiot. Wait, you can get locked up for that? How is Ogren not arrested? But there's no law that says we can't seek our death in the trenches. There's no law down here at all. I said to his face that if he puts our patrol at risk, I'd split him myself. But he's quiet, I'll give him that. Topsiders usually assume the end of the Blight erases the Darkspawn from the world. No. Why does this one care what his victory just drives them back into our doorstep? It's one thing to face them up in the light. He'll cut his own shaft out of here once he fights them in the dark where we live. That, or the lyrium will get him. From the Legion of the Dead Field Report by Lieutenant Gant. Scroll. Yeah, stuff's getting blown off my desk. I swear, Martevald, I have never seen the like. This elf fought like a man possessed. His strikes were light and did not echo on the stone like those of our greatest, but the precision that was that of a shaper carving the memory across the darkspawn. Damned if he didn't raise our glasses with him last eve and share stories of honored family. With the topsider! I know, right? Oh, you knew. In the lyrium glow, he looked no more out of place than any of us. It makes me think of Cousin Byrne. I wonder how he fares on the surface. I think if he sends another letter, I will read it. Ties of kin should be stronger than where we choose to do our business. From the letter of Corporal Torvoid Orison, date unknown. Ah, he's winning favor. Stone take this topsider, she would welcome her own. He was born to the air and sky, but he served as the deep roads better than any native son. Many will see another day because he fought at their side and fell at their stead. We didn't know his rights, and I fear the loss of his family blade may cause unrest on whatever journey he faces. But we know him as a brother in blood, and extend that which is sacred to us. Willem Talamont, if the path home is dark, the stone is honored to have you in its foundation. Epitaph for Wilhelm Talamont, 7-5 Storm. That's honestly kind of awesome. There must always be another to take up arms against the Darkspawn. That is the core of true family, beyond kin, and the unifying link that will bring day to night and allow the fallen to rest. Restored inscription, Tralmont family blade. And that is why we complete quests and get these awesome entrances. And with that, we are done with codexes for now. Like I said, I was not able to get all the codexes before endgame. So I have a feeling what I'm going to probably end up doing sometime before the Archdemon fight is going online and looking up all the codexes I missed and then reading them. My apology, it's probably not the most exciting of videos, but it's a thing I do. And on that note, I think we'll cut the video here. When we come back, it's time. We're gonna begin endgame. Time to go fight some archdemons. But that'll be next time. In between then, I'm going to sell some stuff. I'm gonna switch around some armor. I'm gonna upgrade some weapons. I got a lot of stuff to do off camera. I don't particularly find it engrossing, which is why I'm not gonna bother showing it to you, but until next, tak likatelak hedo.